In this video, I'm going to walk through how we find properties and calculate if they will work as an investment. If you're new here, I am AK, and with my wife Lia, this is our channel where we talk about property, business and working together as a couple. And if you haven't already, please check out our website propertycouple.co.uk. There is a link in the description below for property freebies to help you start and grow your investment portfolio. So today I'm going to be looking at a buy-to-let strategy, and the main reason for this is because a lot of people that I speak to at the moment often ask me if buy-to-let still works. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we look for properties and then how we analyse the numbers. Now, I often start off researching potential investment deals online, and in this case we are using a tool called Lendlord. For those of you who aren't already familiar, Lendlord is an all-in-one platform that makes property investing easy. There are so many features to learn and to use on the platform, but today I'm going to focus on a feature called repossessed properties. Check out the link in the description box to join Lendlord for free and get 40% discount on a premium upgrade when using our link. I'm now going to share my screen and we're going to walk through this together so that you can see exactly how I look for investment properties and figure out if the numbers work or not. So as discussed, here is Lendlord, and there are tons and tons of features, but today I'm going to look at this investment tool on the left hand side, specifically repossessed properties. Now this brings up a screen here that you can enter either an address or a postcode. I'm going to enter a postcode here in an area that we actively invest in. I'm now going to change the radius to 25 miles and I'm going to hit search. And what it's going to do is it's going to calculate all the properties within that area that are potentially repossessed properties. Now, just to make this really simple, I'm just going to click on the very first property here. And there's a link here that says go to property page. And if you click on this, it opens up a page directly in Rightmove, which is super handy, because you've got all the details here of that property. Now what I often do is scroll straight down to the description just to see if there's anything interesting in there that I need to take note of. And one of the interesting things that I can see in this particular property is that they have received an offer of £55,000. So we already know that we have to offer over that if we have any chance of potentially getting this property. However, we obviously want to see if this property works as a buy-to-let strategy. So the first thing I do is I go to Rightmove and I enter that postcode in and I look at the properties that are for sale in that area, because what I want to do is I want to see how much that property would be worth in a renovated state. Now I want to click include under offer or sold subject to contract there, because I actually want to see as much data as possible. I usually do within about half a mile in terms of the radius. And obviously I want to check a minimum of 3 bedrooms so that it matches with that property. Click on find properties and that will start to bring up all the properties in that area. Now just a little tip here, I usually click on the map view as I prefer to kind of work in this view. You can see the street here, Somersby Street, and actually the property that we first brought up is located here. So what you want to do is just have a look at the other properties in the area that are close enough in terms of radius, just to get a gauge on how much the properties might be going for in that area. So you can see one here for just under £100,000. There's one there for offers over 80. And really what you're trying to do is you're trying to sort of gauge maybe a bit of an average. Now there are tools that can gauge that average for you. I'm always a big advocate of understanding how to do this manually, and then when you use those tools you can kind of gauge whether or not those figures are actually accurate. Now, I'm starting to get a bit of an idea as to what a property in this area renovated might go for. These all look a little bit tired. There's one down here for £100,000 that looks like it's been done up. So again, we can actually go into that and we can look at some of the images there to actually see what the state of the property is in. Now this one looks very clean, looks very tidy, looks like a family home. So we can assume that sort of price there of £100,000 might be something that we look at. Now, I'm just going to keep this video quite high level just to give you a bit of an idea. So if we assume then that this property in a renovated fashion would be around about £100,000, what we then need to do is understand how much that property would rent for in the area. So we go to Rightmove again. This time we look for properties to rent. We'll put in the same details, so within half a mile, property type, houses, include let agreed properties, again just to give ourselves an understanding of that. Number of bedrooms, minimum of 3. Let's go to the map view. zoom into where that house is and let's try and gauge maybe what the rental figure will go for. So 575, 930, these look brand new, so probably not the best data to use those ones. 550, 595, 550, 675. So just looking at these numbers, I'd probably be inclined to use a rental figure of about 650 there, just to give myself a bit of a buffer as well. If we were going to renovate this, then obviously we'd be able to get the best price for this as well. Now going back to Lendlord, there's actually a feature in here called rental analysis, and we're actually able to use this to work out whether or not this potentially is a deal. In this scenario, I'm actually going to use my own cash flow calculator to work this out. And again, I'm going to share my screen so that you can see that. So on screen now, let's go through this deal in person and see what the numbers look like. Okay, so here's the cash flow spreadsheet that you guys have probably seen a few times now. The purchase price, I've put this in at £60,000 because, as I said before, if you read the description, there was actually an offer for £55,000, so we know that we would have to beat this. Now, just doing a bit of research, and I would recommend probably taking a broader spectrum of data and maybe speaking to some estate agents as well, just to kind of clarify that. I've put in a market price when done up of £100,000, so you can see that there. Now the rents, we had a look at a bit of an average there, and again what I would say is to qualify the rental figure by going to some different letting agents and seeing what they would suggest as well, because they know the area in detail. But for this example, I'm putting in £650 a month there. Now all the works to do this property up, it wasn't hugely distressed, but I've put in £40,000 to make sure that we include things like a new bathroom, things like a new kitchen, new painting, and things like that. So I've put that in the all works cost below there. Now obviously there's going to be some legal fees and things like that, but just to give you a high level understanding, I've just left those out for now. If we're looking at a done up market value of £100,000, we can assume that a new 75% loan to value of that gives us £75,000. So that will be a new mortgage. In terms of the interest rate, I've put that in at 5%. Now it's probably likely to be slightly lower. I've given ourselves a little bit of a buffer on that one. Management at 10%, rent at £650. Monthly mortgage £312 and the management at £65 actually leaves us with a £272.50 net monthly positive cash flow, which is great, and a return on investment of 13%. So actually that's not bad. You've just seen there, within 10 to 15 minutes, we've identified a potential property that can work positively as an investment. And guess what? It is a buy-to-let. When people are asking, do buy-to-lets still work? We've just gone through live. I haven't done this before. You can see that these do work. As long as you understand the numbers and you can analyze it in this way, then the next step would be visiting that property to have a look at it, maybe take a builder to get some quotes, and then taking that next step in terms of verifying all the numbers that we've just gone through. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe. There is also a link in the description box that takes you to our website, propertycouple.co.uk, and we will see you in the next video. See ya.